Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me once again for some more real estate content.
High five me, we're back.
Right off the bat, I apologize for the sound of my voice. I know I sound super congested. I got sick a few days ago with a cold.
You're so weak.
But I really didn't want to miss this week's upload, so hopefully my voice doesn't detract too much from what I'm saying. So today I really want to talk to you guys about the Portland residential real estate market. If you live in a different state or even in a different city in Oregon, let me know if you can relate to any of these trends that are happening in the Portland metro area. Even though I will be talking about Portland specifically, I feel like a lot of these trends are pretty consistent nationwide. Right now in Portland, it is definitely a seller's market. Now what does that mean? That means that sellers are having a wonderful time right now for the most part. They're able to sell their house for top dollar, and in some cases even more than top dollar, even more than what they list their house for. Buyers and their agents are having a bit of a more difficult time getting their offers accepted. It's taking much longer for buyers to actually get their offer accepted in this market. And the reason behind that is right now in Portland, we are at an all-time low in terms of inventory. Months in home inventory is a term that describes how many months it would take to sell every single house that's on the market right now. In a healthy market, usually months in inventory should be between 4 and 6 months. So that illustrates a pretty equal balance of supply and demand. That means that there are enough houses on the market in order to fulfill the needs of all the buyers that are out there. So 4 to 6 months is normal. Right now we are at 1 month of inventory, maybe even just a little bit less than that. And that means that it would take about a month in order for all of the houses in Portland to sell. This really low supply is not fulfilling the needs of all the buyers that are out there. Supply is much lower right now than demand. Because there are lots of buyers competing for few listings, sellers know that they can get their house sold for full price, if not more than that. This low inventory has understandably resulted in a lot of bidding wars for the few listings that are on the market right now. Because of these bidding wars, there have been buyers that are making risky and dangerous decisions in order to make their offer look more attractive to the seller. One of the most dangerous decisions, in my opinion, is waiving inspections, and there have been buyers that are doing this. They are either waiving inspections altogether or they're shortening the inspection time frame. Waiving inspections is a bad idea for so many reasons, but ultimately, if you waive your inspection and you get into that house that you got your offer accepted on and now you're moving in, if there are repairs that you didn't know about before that can end up being so costly. And if you've already overbid on the house in order to get your offer accepted, and then you're having to pay for repairs that you didn't know you would have to pay for, it just ends up being such a costly situation in the long run. Another thing that buyers have been doing in order to make their offers look more competitive are offering all cash, and first-time home buyers aren't really able to do that because it's their first home. They're trying to finance it, they're trying to get a loan, and they can't offer all cash. And so unfortunately, people that are coming in with all cash offers are really squeezing out first-time buyers. I've heard of offers going 30, 40, sometimes even 50,000 over list price because there are just so many buyers and not enough houses on the market. That doesn't mean that every house is going for that much over list price. It definitely depends on what your house is listed at. If your house is overpriced, it's overpriced. There's not going to be bidding wars on it. And even in a market like this, a house can still be overpriced. And so that's definitely not the case all the time. But I have heard of plenty of cases where houses have been going over list price and for significant amounts over list price. Buyers are unfortunately also not really able to ask for closing costs right now. They can ask for them, definitely, but usually sellers aren't really accepting offers where buyers are asking for closing costs because they know they can get a better offer from somebody else because there are so many willing buyers right now. That's another thing that's really squeezing out first-time home buyers. It's unfortunate. People should be able to purchase their first home, but right now in Portland it's really difficult to do that. Oftentimes, buyers may ask to split the closing costs with the seller, or they might ask the seller to cover the cost of closing altogether. But right now, people have been holding off on doing that because they really want their offers to look competitive. Now, I'm not saying all of this to discourage or scare home buyers from purchasing a home in Portland. It's definitely possible, absolutely, and you don't have to do crazy things like waive your inspections in order to get your offer accepted. I'm just saying this in order to explain that it might take a little bit longer for you to get your offer accepted, and you might have to make offers on multiple properties before you actually get it accepted by the sellers. Now you might be wondering, why are there so many buyers in Portland right now? Why is the demand so high? And I'm going to take a quick excerpt from the Oregonian from an article that they published talking about the Portland real estate market. They talked to Beth Benner of Living Room Realty, and she's saying that buyers are coming to Oregon from larger, more expensive cities. They can work from anywhere, and Portland still seems affordable, especially when compared to other big cities like Los Angeles or San Francisco. To continue on, she also says that first-time buyers working from home have found that they need more space than a studio condo, and the low mortgage interest rates right now can make a home payment less than rent, especially if buyers have the down payment. And just a side note, because buyers are willing to offer so much money in order to get their offer accepted, they're usually not looking to purchase fixer-uppers. They want a house that's move-in ready because they're already offering so much money in order to actually get that house. Another huge factor of not selling is not being able to find another home after you sell, because a seller then has to be a buyer, right? And if they can't find a home, then they're not really looking to sell their home because they know it's going to be difficult on the other side of that. A lot of people are looking to move to Portland because though it has a lot of the different things that big cities offer, it's also so close to nature and hikes and the ocean and the mountain. It's just really the best of both worlds. You get beautiful nature combined with city life, and typically your commute isn't super long to work either. You know, you can really, like I said, get the best of both worlds. So a lot of people are choosing to to move to Portland from cities like Los Angeles and San Francisco because, like I said, they get that big city with the shorter commute times, the more affordable housing when compared to those other big cities, and they get just gorgeous, gorgeous nature in addition to all of that. Another quote that I thought was really important from this article is, for first-time buyers getting loans, they may not be able to compete with those buyers waiving appraisal contingencies and who have more money to put down. So anticipate competition and be ready to give up a few things, which is what I was saying before. It's not impossible, but you have to understand the market that you're going into. You have to understand that it will be competitive and it might be a little bit difficult. Making life easier for the sellers will also give buyers a leg up. So like I said, sellers are under the same pressure to find their next home. So giving them a little bit of flexibility in terms of post-closing occupancy and moving dates is also helpful. Another important thing to mention is that when putting down an offer, you should already be pre-approved. That is so important. Make sure you're pre-approved. You've got all your documents in order because sellers are not going to be waiting for you to get pre-approved after they accept your offer. They want buyers to be coming in fully ready to actually make a purchase with that house. And as I was saying, if a house is priced correctly, if it's not overpriced, it is going so fast right now in this market. So you really don't have too much time to think about it. You have to be certain that you want to go for that house and you have to put down an offer as fast as possible. These market conditions could change in the near future. In the next several months, things could definitely be shifting. And a lot of that will have to do with mortgage forbearances and rental evictions. We're going to be talking about that in depth in the next video, but essentially right now there have been extensions for mortgage forbearances, or lenders are not able to foreclose on people right now because people have been able to extend out their loan payments if they haven't been able to pay right now due to the pandemic. And rental evictions right now are also not allowed. There's a moratorium on those, and that has been extended to the end of March, and mortgage forbearances have been extended to the end of June by President Biden. However, once these rental eviction moratoriums and mortgage forbearances are up and people potentially might be foreclosed on or evicted, the housing market is going to shift in a major way. Right now, it's tough to tell if prices will be going up or going down. It is possible that because of the influx of inventory, house prices might go down, but because President Biden might potentially release a first-time homebuyer down payment assistance program where he will create a program that provides $15,000 for first-time homebuyers in order for them to be able to put down a down payment. If that actually happens, then house prices might actually go up. And if people keep moving to Portland, that will also drive prices up. So right now it's tough to tell if prices will go up or down in the next several months. But definitely, if you are thinking about selling, especially if you're thinking about selling and relocating to a different state, I would say right now, within the next couple months, is the perfect time to do that. You can get your house sold for top dollar in Portland and take that money and relocate to a different state. The interest rates are still super low, so you can take that money that you make from the sale of your home, move to a different state where house prices are a little bit lower, and you can really get a fantastic house with a really low interest rate on your mortgage. If you're a buyer right now that's looking to purchase in Portland or even in other states, it might be difficult, but it is not impossible. And if you need help, if you need somebody that's gonna fight for you, that's gonna vouch for you, that's gonna negotiate for you, and really make sure that we find a house that's perfect for you, I got you. I got your back. I can definitely help you with that. And if you're a seller that's, again, looking to relocate, looking to get top dollar for your house right now, I can help you with that as well. Both sides can win right now. It's just a little bit harder for buyers right now, and I really wanted to illustrate that in this video. Alright, you guys, thank you so much for joining me once again this week. Next week, we will be talking in depth about mortgage forbearances and rent eviction moratoriums, because there's so much to unpack with those two things, and both of these topics are really going to influence the real estate market, so I want to make sure that we cover them both in depth. I briefly touched on them today, but there's a whole lot more to cover in both topics, so next week's video will be all about that. If you found this video helpful or beneficial in any way, please like, subscribe, and turn on the bell notifications. It really helps me out and I appreciate it so much. Make sure to follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is @Irina Dee with 3 E's. Also follow me on TikTok. I recently made a TikTok and I'm so excited about it. I'm having so much fun on there, posting primarily real estate content on there, and my TikTok is @Irina Dee PDX Realty, and I'll link all of that in the description below. So if you want to see more of me, definitely follow me on there. DM me, let's talk, let's have a chat. I want to get to know more of you guys, and I really appreciate the support and the love that I've been getting lately. It's been just so incredible. Thank you so much. Alright, that's going to be it for me for today. Thanks again for joining me, and I will see you next week. Bye.